The first time I heard the whisper, I thought it was just the wind moving through the cornfields beyond the town road. In places like ours, on the edge of farmland somewhere between Kentucky and Tennessee, the night carries sounds in strange ways. A truck miles away can sound like it's idling outside your window, and sometimes the wind drags voices through the dark like it has something to say. I lived alone back then, small town life, quiet evenings, a job that ended before sunset, the kind of routine where nothing unexpected ever happens until something does. It started on an October night, the kind where the air smells like dry leaves and wood smoke. I was sitting on the back porch with a mug of coffee when I heard someone say my name, soft, clear, right behind me. Daniel. I turned so quickly the chair scraped across the wood, but the porch was empty. The yard stretched out into darkness, the field silent except for insects, and the old maple tree swaying gently. I remember standing there for a while, listening. Nothing, just the wind again, moving through the branches, and that strange feeling you get when you think someone is standing very close to you, even when you know you're alone. I laughed it off that night. Small towns make you superstitious if you let them. Old stories passed around at diners and gas stations, tales about things that wander the countryside after dark. But those are just stories, right? The second time it happened, it wasn't outside, it was inside the house. I woke up sometime after midnight. I didn't know why at first, just that strange awareness when sleep suddenly breaks. The room was quiet, completely still. Then I heard it again. Daniel? Not a whisper this time, a voice, low, breathy, right beside the bed. My whole body locked up. I didn't move, didn't breathe, because I knew something impossible. There was someone standing next to me. I could feel it. You know that instinct humans have, the one that tells you when someone is staring at you. That feeling was pressing down on me so heavily I thought my chest might stop moving. Seconds passed. Or minutes. I don't know. Finally, I turned on the bedside lamp. The light filled the room instantly. Nothing. The door was closed, the windows locked, and the floor beside my bed empty. I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Over the next few days, things started to change. Small things. At first, the radio would turn on by itself, usually between 2 and 3 in the morning. Static would fill the room, like someone slowly dragging a finger across the signal. Kitchen cabinets would creak open when I walked past them. Sometimes I would hear footsteps upstairs. Slow, careful. Even though the upstairs had been empty since I moved in, but that voice came back. Always when I was alone, always when the house was silent. Daniel, sometimes it sounded curious, sometimes amused, and once, I swear it sounded angry. One evening, I decided to test something. I sat in the living room with every light turned off, just waiting. The clock on the wall ticked steadily. 10 minutes passed. 20, then suddenly, the air in the room changed. It got colder, not the kind of cold from an open window, but the kind that crawls along your skin like ice moving through your veins. And then I heard it again, closer than ever, right behind my chair. Daniel, you hear me, don't you? My heart slammed against my ribs so hard I thought I might black out, because this time the voice was clear, not distant, not whispering. It sounded like someone standing inches from my ear. Slowly, very slowly, I turned my head. The room was still empty, but something else happened. Something I will never forget. The chair across from me moved just a little. The wooden legs scraped across the floor as if someone invisible had pulled it out and was now sitting down. I could hear the faint creak of weight pressing into the seat. The air smelled different suddenly, like damp soil and old leaves. The voice came again, soft, patient. "Finally, you're listening." I ran. I grabbed my keys and ran out of the house without even shutting the door. I drove straight to the all-night gas station outside town and stayed there until sunrise. The clerk thought I was drunk or sick, but I didn't care, because when I left the house that night, I knew something had followed me home, and it knew my name. I moved away 3 weeks later, new state, new job, new apartment in a crowded city where you can hear neighbors through the walls and traffic outside all night. The kind of place where silence never fully exists. For a while, things were normal again. I convinced myself the whole experience had been stress, lack of sleep, imagination running wild, until last night. I woke up around 3 in the morning, same way as before. Suddenly, for no reason, the apartment was dark, quiet. Then, from the hallway outside my bedroom, I heard footsteps, slow, dragging, coming closer. My door was slightly open, just enough for the hallway light to bleed into the room. And as I stared at that narrow strip of light, I saw something move. A shadow passed by the doorway. Then the footsteps stopped, right outside. The silence stretched so long I could hear my pulse pounding in my ears, and then, gently, almost playfully, the voice spoke again, right outside my door. "Daniel." A long pause followed, long enough for dread to crawl through every nerve in my body. Then the voice whispered one last thing, something that still hasn't stopped echoing in my head. "You didn't think distance would stop me, did you?"